Hey there and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. If you're new, make sure you subscribe before you leave, and if you're a returning subscriber, if you haven't already, hit that little bell down below for notifications on when I put up new videos. I upload twice a week. Alright, so today's video is just something that I should have done a while ago, but I've kind of just been in the headspace I'll talk about in this video for a little while, and it's been hard for me to sit down and create content for you and what have you, but I figured before I start trying to get myself back on track, it was beneficial for not only me but for you guys to kind of know where I've been and what's been going on with me and just checking in, because I feel like, you know, that's a way for me to connect with you guys and for you guys to feel connected to me. So it's not really much to say in the intro here because there's a lot to talk about in general, so let's just grab a snack and get comfortable and let's get into it. Alright, so as the title of this video says, this is a life update slash where I've been video, and there's just like a couple things that I wanted to touch base on. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed uploads here have been pretty sporadic, and that was something that I have been trying to get myself back on track with for probably, I feel like, most of quarantine, to be honest with you. And I think like many of us in this world right now have been struggling to figure out what our new normal looks like, what life looks like. And for me, there has been a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I just wanted to talk about that because I feel like sometimes with this job, as I've said many times, it can always just look picture perfect until you kind of go behind the scenes and realize there's so much more going on. And I have been struggling, specifically, I feel like it's been at a heightened point for me for the past 2 weeks or so, and that's kind of left me feeling unsure about how to proceed on this channel, but also even more like into the idea of getting back into a routine and getting on this channel. If you are a new subscriber, I genuinely don't expect too many like new subscribers or people to find me from this video, but if you are unfamiliar, I have pretty extreme anxiety. I started anxiety meds back in February, so right before everything really happened and the news and information came out about coronavirus, and I counted my lucky stars that I got on these meds before everything started happening. But it's become pretty apparent to me that there's a few things that need to happen, and I think that are really going to help me with what's going on and maintaining this channel, and that is starting therapy and getting on a higher dosage of anxiety meds. I feel like in a weird way I have kind of been able to keep my bubble as safe and sort of bubbly as possible. Like, you know, I have my friends, I have my people in my circle, in my bubble, and when you have that, it just feels like you can block out the rest of what's going on in the world. And I think a couple things started happening that really started to slowly chip away at that and make the reality of what's going on feel like way more apparent to me. And the first being that I had booked a ticket to go back to Boston probably like mid-pandemic. Okay, sorry, I actually have no idea where I was because my doctor called. But basically, to summarize, it's like things just started happening that started like sort of poking away at my bubble until I think the catalyst for me was one of my best friends moving away. It just kind of completely burst, and I think the reality of like everything that's going on hit me, and I had a pretty severe panic attack, which if you have experienced a panic attack, you like know how scary and you know how awful that is. And for me, it is and has always been like such a terrible experience that leaves me like rattled for days, and this was just kind of like the big moment, big point for me where I think I just sort of like realized that there's a lot of things that I need to take care of emotionally, mentally, even physically in my life, and that if I'm ever gonna get back to making videos regularly, making, you know, my job a job again, I need to take care of those things. And I've talked about this in the past, but I think when before all of this happened, everything happened with coronavirus, I was in a place in my life where I was already feeling feelings like isolation, like being alone, like, you know, feeling like the things I was doing in my life weren't satisfying me, weren't fulfilling me the ways that I wanted to. And not to say in any capacity that coronavirus was ever a good thing, it's not, but I'm just saying, I think that by everyone kind of taking a step back and having to be home and kind of having to take a step back from everything, it made me feel not so out of the flow and the sync of the world. It made me feel like, okay, everyone's on the same page right now, and even though this is a super scary time, everyone's home, everyone's feeling this feeling, and there's something really comforting in knowing that other people can understand like what you're feeling. And I think with things opening up again, even though in a lot of places it's premature, it's kind of brought up a lot of those feelings again that I think that I've been fighting for Lord knows how long, honestly a really, really long time, and it's made me sort of rethink what it is I want and what it is I want to do. I think that in order to treat this channel like I used to treat this channel, I need to treat other areas in my life the way that I want to treat other areas in my life. And that's doing things like getting a part-time job, being involved more in my community in whatever way that is, finally starting therapy, which I did my first session this past Saturday. I'm recording this on a Monday, and it was really, really nice and phenomenal. And it was nice to finally have somebody who literally told me there was treatment, there was possibility for me to get better, to feel better, when I had previously thought that there was no help for me, that there was never going to be help for me, and that I was always just going to feel this way, and I was always going to feel anxious. And talking about possibly upping my dosage of anxiety meds, because right now I'm only on 50 milligrams, which apparently is like really, really low dosage and doesn't really do anything, especially when you're somebody who deals with anxiety and panic attacks and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I've been. It's been hard to put my mind to sitting down and recording something, because I feel like a lot of the times in my mess of a head that nobody gives a crap about what I'm doing or what I'm filming or what I have, even though I'm still, you know, sort of struggling with that mentality. I feel like if for nobody else, for me, this is like such a beneficial thing. Even just sitting here talking to you guys, verbalizing this is incredibly helpful to me and has always been incredibly helpful. And I cannot even explain how absolutely life-changing it is when your comments start rolling in and you guys are just like, same. And I just feel like I need to really talk about my anxieties and the fact that I don't have life figured out, and I might be confident in one area of my life, but that doesn't mean that other areas of your life don't exist. And that's just sort of where I've been. I think that this journey of realizing there was a lot of things that needed changes in my life started with heartbreak at the beginning of the year. I'm not heartbroken anymore. In fact, I'm very happy in that department. But it's led me to realize that there are still those feelings of longing and, you know, isolation and feeling like I need to improve other areas of my life. And if I don't acknowledge them, if I keep trying to just push it down and pretend it doesn't exist, then I'm never going to feel better. It doesn't matter who comes into my life, who leaves my life. I'm never going to deal with the inner stuff that really needs attention and really needs focus. So I'm really gonna try, you guys. I genuinely want to like make that promise to you and make that promise to myself. Like, I genuinely want to do better and to be better and to take time for this channel and for myself and keep at this in a way that makes me feel fulfilled, and do the things that make me feel fulfilled, and this is one of them. But I just felt before going forward, it's always nice to check in and kind of let you guys know where I'm at. And I'm really hopeful and excited to see what comes of this. And maybe I'll check in again in a couple months from now. My birthday is in less than a month. And I'm really hoping that I start to feel an improvement in my mood by then, because I would really like to celebrate my birthday and, you know, all that good stuff. I have done enough of describing and telling you what's going on behind the scenes and letting you know that, like, I'm still here and I'm still, you know, pushing past whatever I feel and that I really want to do better. But it might take me a little bit of time, and that I, you know, it never hurts to kind of explain where you're at. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video though. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear where you guys are at in your mental health journeys and whatnot, and how you've been feeling and all that. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for your support and your kindness and just sharing where you're at with me, because it's incredibly helpful and super humbling to see that other people are kind of in a place where they can understand you. So I will go ahead and wrap this video, but don't forget you can find new videos from me every Wednesday and every Sunday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, soon. But I will see you guys next time. Bye.
I see no reason why I should ever let you go. I don't wanna wake up if I'm dreaming, because you know